Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Joe. You're watching Shooting Gallery. We would really appreciate it if before you get into this video, you smash the subscribe button and hit the like button on this video. It helps us with the algorithm and it gets us closer to our 5K subscriber goal. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Cyelee Cobra X Pro pistol optic. Let's get down and let's check out a really cool, affordable pistol optic. As always in every video, we have to state this for our YouTube overlords. Please do me a favor and just, when you're checking this video out for the monetization, just realize all the shooting footage was done in a safe location at a designated shooting range. We had RSOs on duty, our eyes, ears, everything was pointed in a safe direction. Nobody was hurt during the filming of this video. And please do me a favor and let's thank one of the people that makes this video possible. Guys, this video is brought to you by the amazing people over at Definition Knives. As you guys know, Definition Knives is a company that our good friends DLD and Flying Rich have started to make some of the highest quality EDC knives on the market. I have personally been carrying the DK1 for a good minute now. This knife is sharp and it does have some great features with G10 grips, some blue anodized accents to it. To pay homage to Dark himself, this is made out of D2 tool steel. This is the box that it comes in. They have 5 different variations. They have the Co-Pilot, which pays homage to Flying Rich. They have the Journalist, which is John Crump. The Boyd, which pays homage to Dark's father. And the Birdshot, which pays homage to the Tactical Turkeys. These are all very affordable, all under $100, and comes with a amazing warranty. You break it, anything happens, they take care of you. And if you unfortunately get removed your knife for any particular reason other than TSA, they take care of you. Guys, check out Definition Knives. They're highly affordable and great quality. Thank you for making this video possible. Alright guys, so this is a little bit of a different type of video for me because I typically don't like to do optic reviews, but I've been testing this one particular optic out for a good minute. Now, you guys know I love Gideon optics. I love my Holosons. I typically tend to use Gideon over other optics just because of their price point, their durability, and those guys are like family. But I had an opportunity to actually do some horse trading with my man Gamage. Go check his channel out. He is killing it, absolutely killing it. Gamage is a good buddy of mine down here in Florida, Brownell's crew, does the squad drills over on Instagram, but go follow him. Got Gamage on YouTube. Good friend of mine. So we did some horse trading. He wanted to check out an optic that I had in from a certain company, and we did some trading, and he was like, hey man, I have this brand new one. Do you want to check it out? We'll trade straight up. So I met him over at his job one day and we kind of swapped it out. Now, the Cobra X Pro is something that I'm brand new to. I've never really had any experience with Cyelee optics. Right now, it is housed on my Stoeger STR9 Optics Ready. You guys know I'm a big fan of the Stoeger STR9. I ended up, because I swapped the optic on this, because when I got the Grizzly 101, I needed to get an optic on it. And it just happened to be the time when I got the Grizzly in, I met up with Gamage, we traded some optics, and I got the Cyelee Cobra X Pro. Now, let's get into some of the specs and just basics of the Cobra X Pro from Cyelee Optics. Okay, so the Cobra X Pro from Cyelee Optics, I have the spec sheet right here. If you see me looking down, it's just so I can get you the most accurate information. It is a red dot that comes with a 2 MOA red dot and a 26 MOA circle. And it's adjustable multi-reticle. It is cut for a doctor and or Vortex Venom optics. It has shake awake technology and deactivated by, you know, the awake feature. Up to 50,000 hour battery life, IPX7 waterproof rated. It is drop proof up until 6 feet on, or I think that's feet. Slide mounted battery. Window size is 24 by 17 millimeter, and it is a large window. It's parallax free, and it has 8 daytime settings and 2 night vision settings. Those are the specs. Take them for what you will. Let's get into what I thought about the Optic. So as you see from the shooting footage, and I've said this in the past like 3 videos, if the angles look kind of funky, it's just a special rule I have to follow when I'm at my gun club because they don't want other members on our content without their permission. So I follow that rule gladly. It's a great range. Guncraft in Ruskin, Florida. Check them out if you're in the Southwest Florida area. So the Cyelee X Pro, Cobra X Pro. Well, first, when I got it, I didn't know it was a doctor footprint, so I run all my guns RMRs. The good thing of why I'm happy I never got rid of my Stoeger STR9 is because when you buy the Stoeger STR9, they come in at around $320. On rebates, you can get them under $300. It's a great full-size pistol that, like, kind of Glock VP9 love child. It gives you every single optic plate you could possibly think of, minus, I believe, the acro. So I decided, okay, I'm going to get the. I was able to find my optic plate for the Dr. Cut. I like the idea of this Cobra X Pro because it does have a very large window, larger than some other very popular optics. I would love to get a Gideon Optics Omega to compare this to because when it comes to window size, this would probably be another contender. It is a beefy optic made out of 7075 T6 aluminum, hard coat anodized for the finish. So I got the plate on here, and the good thing about Cyelee is they give you all the tools to install it. Me being a gunsmith, obviously I know how to install an optic. So obviously I torqued this down to about 10 to 15 inch pounds. Use blue Loctite because I didn't know if I was going to keep this optic on this gun. I still applied Loctite though. Always put Loctite on your optic screws, guys. I don't know how many people I've seen come off the range that say I installed my optic myself, and they come back with a bloody nose because the optic came flying back and hit them straight in the face. Make sure you apply Loctite. So I put it on. The one thing I did notice when I was trying to install it, they give you about 15 different packages of screws because depending on the thread pitch and the slide you're putting it on, they do provide enough screws. But for this one, I had to get a file down because I got the right pitch. The length was a little bit too long, so I had to file down the screws and make sure they were all good to get them tightened down. So that was just one con I did notice with all the screws that they provide in the box that Cyelee gives you when you purchase an optic, is that I ended up still having to file down the screws. So I brought this to the range. The first time I brought it to the range to do the video, I shot like absolute garbage. I don't even think I have the footage because I just shot like absolute garbage, and I couldn't give this optic justice. So I went to the range recently, as you can see from the shooting footage, and I redid the shooting. So when I shoot pistols that are red dots on pistols, I like to go between 15 and 10 yards. That's most combat or self-defense distances. Some are even up to 3 yards. 10 to 15 is a happy medium. It gives me some idea of how the optic is. With it being a 2 MOA dot, it is a circle with a dot reticle. You can see in the footage that I'm playing now, you're not going to be able to see it. Reticles don't really come through on the camera, but as you can see that it does have a decent sized reticle with comparison to the size of the window. So I put about 100 rounds at 15 yards. I will say this gun, or it's not the gun, the Optic did its job. I did have to adjust. Let's see how I'm doing. Okay, so I did have to adjust a little bit because I was shooting right about here. I adjusted it down. Audible clicks when you're adjusting the Optic, which is good. If I can't hear the clicks when I'm adjusting it, whether for windage or elevation, it's not. I'm not a fan of it out of the gate. But with the Cyelee the Cyelee Cobra X Pro, it has audible clicks. It has your own tool. It doesn't take a standard like Holosun tool, which I'm not a fan of. But I mean, for what you're getting, they at least provide the flat head that you're able to adjust on the fly or when you're going to zero your optic. I did find it very easy to pick up with it being a 2 MOA reticle. For 10 to 15 yards, that's really not that bad. And I'm not completely against Cyelee optics. Again, this is my sample size of 1, but it being a larger window with a good size reticle in it. It is a red dot. I wish I had a green. I'm just more of a green fan, but beggars can't be choosers, and I do give a big shout out to my man Gamage for wanting to trade with me. This is a pretty cool optic. It has a slide mounted battery, so you don't have to take off the optic for you to change your battery out. 50,000 hours is kind of industry standard. And for the price that it comes at around 260 doll hairs, you're able to get shake awake technology, which I think should be an industry standard. There are some optics that don't have shake awake technology. So for those who are new to firearms and don't understand what shake awake technology is, so say you're going to pull out of your pistol, pull your pistol out of your holster, say you need to use it in a defensive situation. Do you really want to be like, hold on, criminal, or hold on, person that's trying to assault me, or hold on, person that wants to end my life? I have to, okay, my red dot's on, now go. It's the second you have a little bit of motion, flick it on, pull it out, that dot is on and ready to go. There's some optics out there that don't have that feature. I think it's a travesty, and every optic should have that feature on it. The accuracy potential is here. I'm not the biggest, again, with it being a doctor cut, I have very limited access to slides or guns that are cut for the Vortex Venom. I'm not a fan of Vortex pistol optics. I'm not. I've tried them. They don't have an audible click in some of the variants that I've tried. They're not the best quality. Now, their Vortex rifle optics are amazing. They have amazing qualities. Their actual like prism optics and like their red dot options like the crossfire, great. The pistol red dots, I just don't care for. So that's why I tend to go with RMR. But I want to give this a fair shake. So with this being on a gun that I like to bring, this is just like a range gun. If I found a good holster for it, I'd probably carry this just because I do shoot this very accurately. It's a very comfortable trigger, and this being a large window from the Cobra X Pro, it's actually a pretty neat design. And I'm accurate with it. I would trust my life to it a little bit more. I want to shoot a little bit more. But for $260 hairs, that is a very competitive price for someone that wants to have a red dot on a pistol. Now, the only con to this is that it's coming in a doctor cut. Obviously, there are going to be certain companies that it fits a certain purpose for a certain pistol. A good example of that is the SIG M17. When that contract was being made, the military wanted to have a Delta Point Pro cut, so that would only take Leopold Delta Point Pros and the SIG Romeo 1. If you're in that same situation, go with the Delta Point Pro. Another good example, the SIG Romeo 1 is not a good optic. I'm not a fan of the SIG Romeo 1, but there's certain reasons. I don't know the reason why they made the Cobra X Pro the doctor cut. I think if it was a RMR cut, I would like it a little bit more, but now I just have to cut that into effect. If I ever want to change that optic onto a different pistol, I have to make sure I have a doctor plate. And the reason why that's a downside is on some guns that are RMR cut and you get a RMR to doctor footprint, you usually have to go to places like C&H Precision and get a $60 to $70 optic plate so the screws line up and the recoil lugs line up. it's kind of a pain in the ass. That's the only reason, the only con I have about the Cobra X Pro. I surprisingly really enjoyed this gun, or this, I really enjoyed this optic. It does have a lot of features that I like. It's just the cut that this is made for, I'm not a fan of. But all together, the optic is solid. With the experience I've had with it, I really enjoy shooting it. So if you're interested in picking up a Cyelee Cobra X Pro, check them out. I will be completely honest, I have no affiliation with Cyelee Optics. I've never spoken to them. They've never reached out to me. Again, big thanks to my friend Gamage for hooking me up with this, doing a little bit of horse trading. Guys, check out Gamage on YouTube and Instagram. He is killing it. Check out all the squad drills, guys. Jay Weth, check out D's Gains, Triggered Dad. All these guys are killing it on YouTube. I'm lucky enough to know them, and we're trying to get a little range day together, but big thanks to him because I wouldn't have the opportunity to test out the Cyelee Cobra X Pro. If you guys are looking for an affordable optic that takes a doctor cut, check them out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay shooting, and we'll see you next time. Peace.